everyone, I'm Carla, Trisha, and Guddaran, your tutor for today's agenda. So in this session, you will be going to see different problem solving and of course, solutions. So in our first part, I will discuss and teach you the basic strategies in solving basic problems using Paolma's 4 principle. And later on, one of my partner, Angelica Paolma, will share another example. So let's begin the discussion. Paolma claims that true problem solving is accompanied by the cognitive activities of mobilization, organization, isolation, and of course, combination, and by the metacognitive evaluations of relevancy, proximity, and of course, equality. So, George Paolma, known as the father of modern solving problem, did extensive studies and wrote numerous mathematical papers and of course 3 books about problem solving. So I'm going to show you this method of problem solving to help step you through these problems. So later on, I will give you some question and let's try to answer it using the 4 principles of Paolma. So let's discuss the Paolma's first principle. So what is the first principle? Understand the problem. So this seems so obvious that it is often not even mentioned. Yet students are often stymied in their efforts to solve problems simply because they don't understand it fully or even in part. So Paolma taught teachers to ask students questions such as, do you understand all the words used in stating the problem? What are you asked to find or show? Can you restate the problem in your own words, like that? And sometimes, can you think of a picture or a diagram that might help you understand the problem, or is there enough information then able to find a solution? So let's proceed to the second principle of Paolma. So it is the devise a plan. So Paolma mentions that there are many reasonable ways to solve problems. So the skills at choosing an appropriate strategy is best learned by solving many problems. So it can help us to practice to solve and of course to formulate any equations to answer the question. So you will find choosing a strategy increasingly for a basic or easy. So a partial list of strategies is included. For example, guess the check, look for a pattern, make an orderly list, draw a picture, eliminate possibilities, solve a simpler problem, use symmetry, use a model, analyze the problem, consider the special cases, work backwards, use direct reasoning, use a formula that is appropriate with it, and solve an equation. And lastly, be ingenious to what are you doing. So we are about to finish all the strategies or principles. Now let us proceed to the Paolma's third principle. So what is the third principle? So it is the carry out the plan. So this step is usually easier than revising the plan. In general, all you need is care and of course patience. Given that you have the necessary skills, persist with the plan that you have chosen. So if it continues not to work, don't worry, discard it and choose another. Don't be misled. This is how mathematics is done, even by professionals. Try and try and try until you succeed. And now, for the last or the fourth principle of Polya, it is the look back, going back like that. Or in short, rechecking your answer or your formulas. So look back, Polya mentions that much can be gained by taking the time to reflect or look back or going back at what you have done, what worked and what didn't work. So doing this will enable to predict what the strategy to use to solve future problems. So look back. So this is the numeric word problem, a basic numeric word problem. So don't be confused or scared because this is the basic part of our question and answer. So the question is, twice the difference of a number and 1 is 4 more than the number. Let's find the number. So in this situation or problem, first we will going to apply the first principle, which is the understanding or analyzing first the problem before answering. So sometimes the problem lies in understanding the problem. If you are unclear as to what needs to be solved, then you are probably going to get the wrong results. So in order to show an understanding of the problem, you of course need to read the problem carefully and understand it carefully. So sounds simple enough, but some people jump the gun and try to start solving the problem before they have read the whole problem, which is wrong. So once the problem is being read, you need to list all the components and data that are involved. So this is where you will be assigning your variable. So make sure that you read the question carefully several times. Since we are looking for a number, we will let's predict that x is equals as our number. So in the second process or strategy is simple, which is devising a plan. So in this process, let's double or twice the difference of a number, and a 1 is 4 more than the number. So 2 open parenthesis x minus 1 close parenthesis is equals to x plus 4. So after this process, after we double the difference of the number 1 and of course 4, we can now proceed to the next strategy, the third principle of Polya. So for the third step, carry out the plan or the solving process. This is how we will going to solve the numeric word problem. So 2 open parenthesis x minus 1 close parenthesis x plus plus 4 is equals to 2x minus 2 is equals to x plus 4 is equals to 2x minus 2 minus x is equals to x plus 4 minus x, and then x minus 2 is equals to 4, and lastly x minus 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 plus 6. So our x is equal to 6. But how did we come up with this? So first, we remove the parenthesis by using a distinct process, or proper rather, and we get all x terms on one side. And lastly, subtracting individually to 2 and adding again to 2, that makes x minus 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 plus 2. So we got the answer. X is equals to 6. Is that the basic? Yes, it is still a basic Q&A in mathematics. So let's proceed to the last strategy. And this last strategy is so basic, which is looking back or going back, or what we call it rechecking. So this is just a basic problem solving. So to conclude, if we take the difference of 6 and 1, that is the same as 4 more than 6. So this does check. So the final answer is x is equals to 6. Again, I'm Carla, Trisha, and Guddaran. Thank you for listening, and I hope you guys learned something from me. Again, good day, and let's hear another example to my partner, Angelica Paolma. Your turn.
Hi, good morning. My name is Angelica Paolma from Math 229. Today I'm going to show you a simple problem and solve it by using the Paolia's 4-step strategy. But before I solve, I'm going to discuss the Paolia's 4-step strategy briefly first. So here's the Paolia's 4-step strategy. First, understand the problem. Of course, we need to read the problem statement and have a clear understanding of it. Second, devise a plan. This is the step in which I'm going to solve the problem by developing a strategy or plan. Third, carry out the plan. When a strategy has been devised, the next step is to execute the plan by using mathematical techniques to solve the problem. And lastly, check the solution. The final step is to verify the solution to make sure that it is accurate and it makes sense in the overall of the problem. Here's the problem. A juice stall sells orange juice for 25 pesos per cup and apple juice for 30 pesos per cup. The stall earned a total of 1,275 pesos from the sales of 50 cups of juice. How many cups of each variety of juice were sold? The problem is asking to find the number of cups of orange juice and apple juice sold at a juice stall that sells cups of orange juice for 25 pesos and cups of apple juice for 30 pesos, and made a total revenue of 1,275 pesos by selling 50 cups of juice. So by using the Paolia's 4-step strategy, so first, understand the problem. This entails identifying the information that has been provided, such as the amount of money earned from the sales, the price of each cup of juice, and the total number of cups that were sold. In addition to this, we needed to figure out the unknowns, which were the quantity of cups of orange juice and apple juice that were sold. Next, devise a plan. The second step is to figure out how to solve the problem. So the information in the problem was shown by a system of equations. We made the variable x show how many cups of orange juice were sold, and we made the variable y show how many cups of apple juice were sold. Then we used equations that showed how much money was made and how many cups were sold to make a system of equations. The x plus y equals to 50. That is the total cups sold. Next, 25x plus 30y equals to 1,275 pesos. That's the total revenue. We can solve this system of equations using either substitution or elimination. Next is carry out the plan. This step entails carrying out the plan developed in the second step. In this case, we use a system of equations to represent the information given in the problem. From there, we may now utilize algebraic techniques like substitution and elimination to get x and y given their current values. Solving for y in terms of x led us to the expression y is equal to 50 minus x. We could have also solved for x in terms of y, which would have given us the expression x is equal to 50 minus y. Either way, the important thing is that we have a system of equations that allows us to solve for both variables. So going back to y is equal to 50 minus x, here, number 1, we use the first equation to separate y and get it in terms of x. Then we put this expression in place of y in the second equation to get rid of y and get an equation with only x. Number 2, we substitute the expression for y 50 minus x from step 1 into the second equation and simplify. To further discuss it, we substituted the value of y from equation 1 into equation 2. Equation 1, x plus y equals 50. Solving for y, we get y is equal to 50 minus x. Substituting this expression for y into equation, we get 25x plus 30 times the quantity 50 minus x equals 1275. The expression 50 minus x is substituted for y in the equation since y has been solved for in equation 1. Number 3, we distribute the 30 in the second term, simplify the equation by combining like terms and get an equation with only one variable. In the equation, 25x plus 30 times the quantity 50 minus x equals 1025. Next, we can first distribute the 30 to get 25x plus 1500 minus 30x equals 1275. Then we can simplify by combining like terms on the left hand side of the equation. 25x minus that will be 25x minus 30x plus 1500 equals 1275. Then we'll get the answer of negative 5x plus 1500 equals 1275. Number 4, the equation is further simplified by transferring rather all x terms to one side and all constants to the other. Next, number 5, to get x, we divide each side of the equation by x coefficient. This provides us with the x value. And lastly, number 6, now that we know the value of 6, we can solve for by substituting it back into equation 1. The value of y is obtained by substituting the value of x determined in step 5 into the first equation and solving for y. After solving for x in the previous step, we substitute the value of x into equation 1 to solve for y. X plus y equals 50, substitute x equals 45, 45 plus y equals 50, subtract 45 from both sides, y equals 5. This means that 5 cups of apple juice were sold. Since y represents the number of cups of apple juice sold, therefore we have solved for the number of cups of each variety of juice sold at the juice stall. 45 cups of orange juice and 5 cups of apple juice were sold. We can check our solution by substituting these values back into the original equation to see to see if they satisfy the problem's conditions. Lastly, to check the solution, we can check that our solution is correct by verifying that it satisfies the original equations. Substituting x equals 45 and y equals 5 into the two equations, we get 45 plus 5 equals 50. That's the total cup sold. It represents the total revenue earned from selling 45 cups of orange juice and 5 cups of apple juice. Next is 25 multiplied by 45 plus 30 multiplied by 5 equals 1,275. That's the total revenue earned. First is the 25 multiplied by 45. It indicates the money earned from selling 45 cups of orange juice for 25 pesos a cup. This is equivalent to selling 25 times as many cups for orange juice. So, 25 multiplied by 45 equals 1,225. The second is the 30 multiplied by 5. It indicates the money earned from selling 5 cups of apple juice at 30 pesos per cup. For 30 pesos per cup rather. Similarly, this is equivalent to 30 times the amount of apple juice sold. So 30 multiplied by 5 equals 150. When we combine this two, we get 25 multiplied by 45 plus 30 multiplied by 5 equals 1,125 plus 150, which is equal to 1,275 pesos. This is the total money generated by selling 50 glasses of juice at the pricing indicated. Therefore, our solution is correct. So the answer is, the juice stall sold 45 cups of orange juice and 5 cups of apple juice. That will be all. Thank you so much for listening.
Hello. Here, we have the problem. And what we have to do is to identify how we can answer this problem and how we can find the next 3 right answers here. So what we have to do is to multiply the same number. So what same number we can multiply that the answer is 4? Right, it's 2. 2 multiplied by 2 is equals to 4. Next, what same number we can multiply and the answer is 9? Right, it's 3. 3 times 3 is equals to 9. So the next one that must be answered is 16. So what same number we can multiply and the answer is 16? It's 4. 4 multiplied by 4 is equals to 16. So now, what have you observed here? Tama! Magkakasunod sila. 2, 3, 4. So if 2, 3, 4, what is the next? Must be 5. 5 multiplied by 5 is equals to 25. Next, 6. 6 times 6 is equals to 36. And the next one is 7 times 7 is equals to 49. So, what is the next of 7? It's 8, right? So, all you have to do again is to just multiply the same number. 8 multiplied by 8 is equals to 64. Now, we have the answer here at the first blank. So, the answer here at the first blank is 64. What's the next of 8? 9. 9 times 9 is equals what? 81. So, the answer here is 81. The next one and the last is 10. multiplied by 10 is equals to 100. Now we have the answers here, and this is how we can answer the problem. So it's very easy, right? That everyone can answer the problem without using any equipment or tools like calculator or what. And also, if we do critical thinking, I will show you another way of answering this problem. So you just have to squared. You just have to square the number here. What is the square root of 4? The answer is 2. Let's do another one. What is the square root of 9? It's 3. Another one. What is the square root of 16? Must be 4. So as you can look at here, the numbers ay magkakasunod lang. So that's the different way how you can solve this problem. So that's all. I hope you've learned something. Thank you.
How did you come up with the idea? How did you plan for your task? Did you get any help or support, either yourself or groupmates? So, as we are about to start planning, one of my groupmates suggested if it is better if we are going to make an original math-related problem solving that can be solved using any of the problem-solving strategies that was discussed in the previous lessons, chapter 3 and of course the chapter 4. So we agreed to do the suggested activity for our Peta 3, and moreover, as we discussed what to do and how we will do the activity, we realized that this activity will boost our confidence and of course our oral skills in doing the math-related problem solving. So human brains process visuals like much faster than text. So this bias toward visual cues is one of the primary advantages of video presentations, and the reason why we also choose this is because it attracts better engagement rates. So not only are people more likely to engage with a video for longer or compared to a blog post, but we also more likely to click on video content. And doing this video presentations for our activity, it is more engaging, interactive, flexible, and easier knowledge sharing. And in making our Peta 3, as one or as a group, we did it with our passion. We decided to make one math-related problem solving each and assign who will be going to edit the video presentation.
Letter B. What are the challenges you encountered while doing Peta 3? A tight schedule was one of the biggest problems we had to deal with. Every person in our group had a different schedule, which made it hard to find a time to get together and do the Peta. We also had other tasks and responsibilities to complete, which added to the pressure. So we decided to make a schedule and plan out for the Peta in order to solve the problem. We also made sure to instant message each other so that everyone knew how the work was progressing. We also had to deal with the fact that we had a lot of work to do. The performance task was a big task that needed a lot of study. We only had a few weeks to finish it, which made things even worse. So to solve this problem, we gave each group member an equal amount of work and gave each task a deadline. We also helped each other out when we were having trouble doing our part. Despite these challenges, we were able to finish our performance task on time and very well. Our group's hard work, determination, and ability to work as a team paid off. We were grateful on what we had done. And the experience taught us a lot about how to work together and manage our time.
Answering letter C. For groups, what are your contributions each in the beta? Firstly, my groups are Miss Paolma, Miss Guddaran, and I. So we're just three. And at first, we come up with a meeting so that we can talk about kung ano yung pipiliin namin activity dun sa beta 3. And we finally choose letter B, which is making our own problem, and that can be solved based dun sa chapter 3 and chapter 4 discussion. So yeah, Miss Paolma, Miss Guddaran, and I we decided to make our own original problem. Each one of us has to make our own original problem that can be solved based on chapter 3 and chapter 4. And while answering the problem, we have to take a video of it. So, lahat kami nag-take ng video. And at the end of beta 3, there are 3 questions that must be explained. So, since there are 3 questions, A, B, and C, and we also D, so we divided it if one of us has the question. And that's why I'm answering the letters right now. So, yeah, every one of us contributes equally. And the one who edited the video also is Miss Guddaran, because she volunteered herself to edit our video. So everyone contributes to finish this activity, which is better.